Hey Red Raiders, what's up? How are y'all doing? I hope everything is fine with you guys. This is Izzy, and in today's video I'm here to tell you guys everything about my experience as an international student here at Texas Tech. So for those of you who don't know, I'm from Brazil. I'm not from the US, and in this video I'm here to share everything from you guys, my experience here at Texas Tech, cultural shocks, and what life is like for international students here. So if you're curious to see that, keep on watching. Okay, so my first ever shock when I came to Texas Tech in the US was dorms, because back home, all of the universities back home, basically, they don't do on-campus living. So that was definitely something very different for me, but I feel like it was very positive. So my freshman year, I shared a room with my roommate, and I had never shared a room before with anyone. So that was definitely something very new for myself. And even though it had its ups and downs like living with people is, I feel like it was very beneficial for myself. I feel like I've grown a lot because I had to learn how to communicate with her. I had to learn how to live with someone else. And also at the beginning, before I had any friends, it was also very nice coming home to someone, you know, not just being locked in a room by myself while I didn't know anyone. So that was definitely something nice. And living on campus is so convenient because everything is right there. You can walk anywhere. This is one of the things that I love about Texas Tech. Even though we have the second largest continuous campus in the US, it is very walkable. Like, I think if I go from one edge of campus to the other edge, it's like a 20-minute walk. And even if you don't want to walk, there's also bus systems on campus. We have 2 lines that pass every 4 minutes, and they go clockwise and anti-clockwise. So it's very easy to get around on campus. And since I had just gotten to the US, I didn't know anything. I didn't know where I was. I had never put my foot into Texas Tech campus before my orientation, so I had no idea how to get around. And it was super simple because living on campus facilitated it so much. Okay, so my second biggest shock was having like so many events happening on campus and having so much going on all the time. So I feel like Texas Tech is like a small town itself, in the way that there's always something going on. You always have activities to do. There's SAB, which is the Student Activities Board. They post and do so much fun stuff. Organizations across the campus do so much fun stuff, and there's always something going on. And at the beginning of the year, we also have Raider Welcome Week, maybe 2 weeks before classes start. I'll put the schedule up right here for this year. But Raider Welcome has so many events at the beginning of the semester, and that really helps you fit in. I know that when I was a freshman, I went to a lot of those events with the people that I met on orientation. They're still my friends to this day, and we had so much fun, and it was definitely nice to get out and about and meet new people on campus, meet resources, and just do fun stuff. And don't think that after those few weeks have gone by that there won't be any events. There's always something going on here at Texas Tech, which is really shocking for me, because back home, while there were a few clubs and stuff like that in universities, the norm was you went to university, you went to class, you go back home, and there's that. So there's not really this much that goes on. So that was definitely a very positive shock for me. Definitely helped not feeling lonely in those first few weeks and making friends in those first few weeks. Okay, and speaking of just getting into campus, international students do have a different orientation day than domestic students. The reason behind this is that Texas Tech mainly does its orientation during the summer for the fall semester. And for international students, it's not very viable to fly to the US just to spend 2 days during orientation and then go back home. So what they do is that they pick up the academic calendar and they select a day, usually a week before classes start, and that's when all the international students will come in and have their orientation. So it was definitely a good way to make friends for me, because my first few friends were international students. I met one of my best friends in line during orientation, and then she introduced me to a lot of friends that I made also during orientation. All of them were international students, and it's very hard being away from home. I'm not gonna lie, it's very hard, especially at the beginning when you don't know anyone, you're in a foreign country, you're experiencing a different culture, you get very homesick. But making international friends was definitely something nice for me, because they were sharing the same things, the same experiences and feelings that I was having. So we could lean on each other, and we knew that that person understood what's going on with you, and that's so nice. And then during international student orientation, the ICC, the International Cultural Center, they will give you an overview of what you need to do to maintain your visa, the legal stuff you need to do, what the culture is like here at Texas Tech, what to expect from Texas Tech, the school spirit. Like, they taught me the Matador song. So we all just sang the Matador song at the beginning. They teach you how to register for classes, all that you need to know to succeed here on campus, and then they actually take you on a tour of Texas Tech, which is really helpful because they know campus so well. And if you're just like me, you've never been here before, don't worry, they'll teach you everything where you need to go. Don't worry if you don't get it like down to a T the first time. You can always ask your CA, which is your community advisor in your dorm. You can always rely on Google Maps, and you will get to your classes on time and to the right class. Yeah, I definitely used a lot of Google Maps my freshman year. Trust me, as long as you have your phone, you will be fine, because TTU has Wi-Fi, so you can just log into Google Maps even if you don't have a data plan yet. Speaking of that, during international orientation, they actually also gave me my SIM card so I can have a data plan. So that was so thoughtful, that was so nice of them, and that definitely helped. So my third shock was having dining on campus, like here in Texas Tech, where you purchase your meal plan and then you basically just live off the food from campus. Like I said before, it's not usual to live on campus back home, so everyone basically had an apartment and they went back home and they cooked for themselves. Since we're living at the dorms here, I did have to go to dining halls to eat, and let me tell you something, I was close to so many good dining halls. I was close to like one of the best dining halls on campus, in my personal opinion, of course, which is the Commons, and they had such a variety of food. Ramen, pizza, Mexican, sandwiches, salads, fried chicken, breakfast food, burgers. They had bagels, had Einstein Bros. They had such a great variety. I was also across the street from the Sub, which had Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, and it was definitely a shock for me that I could literally just walk out of my dorm, walk 2 minutes, and I would get food ready for me. The food itself was not that shocking, because like, we do have Pizza Hut back home, we do have Mexican food, we do have burgers, we have sandwiches, so that wasn't personally a shock for myself. I'm from Brazil, I come from Latin America. Here on campus, they cater to a lot of different tastes. Okay, so my third shock has a lot to do with the stereotype that in the US you need a car to get by. Back home, I did use public transportation every once in a while, and I was worried because I didn't have a car when I came here. So that was actually one of my biggest worries, how would I get around? And since I lived on Texas Tech, I lived by campus in Lubbock, they have a pretty good public transportation system. Like I said before, campus does have on-campus buses which loop around the campus. So if you want to go somewhere far, like for example, I like to do yoga classes at the rack, which was basically across campus for me. I could either walk like 15 minutes or take the bus, so that was definitely very convenient. And they also have the off-campus buses that pass by the student living apartments. That's one of the reasons why I decided to move off campus, because even though I didn't have a car, I could still get to campus pretty easily. And one nice thing is that all of those buses are free. You don't have to pay anything. That's already included in the fees in your tuition. So you don't have to pay a bus fare every time you want to ride a bus. And that also includes the City of Lubbock buses. So you can ride in those for free as long as you show your student ID. So you will get onto the bus, you show them your student ID, and then you will be able to get in for free. It's not as convenient as having a car, I'm not gonna lie. Having a car is very, very convenient when you're here in the US because things are pretty far away. But close to campus, we do have a lot of what we need. So we have a CVS, which is like a pharmacy. We have a Walmart that's really close by, and you can take the off-campus buses to go to Walmart because it will stop and you only have to like cross the street to get to Walmart, so that's so convenient. And then you can also take the City of Lubbock buses to get around. I definitely did that a lot my freshman year. I had a friend that we would always go out on Saturdays, so Saturday mornings we would take the bus and we would go to the mall, we would go to Market Street, we would go to Ross, to TJ Maxx, we would go to all sorts of places for free by the bus. Of course, we were in the bus schedule, but you will definitely be able to get around on campus using public transportation, and off campus is also definitely possible. If you don't have a car, don't worry about it. I didn't have a car for 2 years living here. Okay, my final shock does come down to classes and academic life as an international student. Something that really shocked me was that professors here at Texas Tech have office hours. And what does that mean? We didn't have office hours back home. Is that every professor will put aside around 2 hours every week of their time, and you can just drop by their office and you can just talk to them. If you're struggling in the class, you can ask for advice on how to study, you can ask for help on the homework, you can ask for help on seeing where you went wrong on an exam, or you can just talk to them. You can talk to them about their profession. Are you in the right major? What you want to do when you graduate? They're really open to all that kind of stuff. Back home, we had class time with the professors and that was that. Here you have your professor's email, you have office hours. They're always available to help you, which is so nice. All the professors are super understanding. Even if you have an accent, they will try their best to understand what you're talking about, what you want to communicate with them. If you don't understand what they say, you can just raise your hand, ask them to repeat. They will gladly repeat everything. They are super accommodating to every single student, and that includes international students. They just want you to succeed. So if you put in the effort, if you show them that you also want to succeed, they will help you so much. And that is so nice, because I was definitely afraid that, oh my gosh, what if I don't understand the professor? It's the first time I'm being primarily taught in English. Back home, I did have English class, but it was one class and all the other classes were taught in Portuguese. So I was like, can I even keep up? And the professors will always help you to keep up with that kind of stuff. So don't worry about it. So that was it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're an international student coming here to Texas Tech, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you're an international student thinking about coming to Texas Tech, please feel encouraged to, because I love my experience here as an international student, and we would be more than happy to have you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.